What is up? The time is finally here. The time that has been foretold in many ancient scriptures and books. It is the update to the game room. I recently moved. I did a video earlier this year showing the old game room that you saw in many of the old past videos, hangouts, unboxings, all was done there. But I moved. The eagle has flown the nest, and we're here at the new game room. I'm right outside the door. Or no, I'm in the door. I'm in the corner because I want to do a big reveal. It's going to be fireworks. I don't know if they're here yet, but I want to get into it. I want to show you guys the new game room. I'm so excited to show you guys because I love this space, and I've been here for a couple months now. Finally found time to make this video, so hope you enjoy. Let's get right into it. This is going to be a no-edit video, straight up Birdman style. Check it out, Birdman on DVD and Blu-ray. So we're going to go straight to something similar or familiar. There's a lot of stuff that's familiar, but it's different. So first off is this long poster. Some of the stuff is going to be kind of rehashing on, I think that's the right word I'm looking for, on something you guys have seen before. Some of the stuff I've talked about in the old video, just ignore it, but a lot of stuff is new. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, you might not even seen the old video. So enough of that. This is an old Zelda poster, came from the old game room, just came back, brought it here. It's fan art. Some guy created this very long fan art and people started selling it on eBay as a poster. So I got it. I think it's one of the coolest posters I own. Big giant, I think it's like 6 foot, something like that. Up here, so this is what's cool about the game room. I have more space. I've added more shelves and stuff, so I've been able to get more room for some of these figures, such as some of the big collector's editions now have their own space, like up at the top. So up here is classic, The Last Guardian collector's edition. We got Donkey Kong up here, and this is actually, this was not in the old game room. This is something you got for pre-ordering Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. So I'll put that up there, Donkey Kong loves his bananas. And this is an old, not old, but this was in the last video, BioShock Infinite George Washington. That's how he looked when he became first president on the inauguration. Official footage right here. So as we go down on the shelf, I have the shelf in the same spot as my old game room, but I've moved it around. There are some new things going on here. So what we see here, I've changed this. This is actually kind of similar, but it's different, the way I've set it up. This is the shelf that has my Power Rangers on it and Dragon Ball Z figures. So we got the whole cast. I had to get the whole cast plus the daggone Megazord here. And then we got Super Saiyan Goku. These are Figure Art Zero. These figures don't move, but they are freaking very detailed here. So yeah, Piccolo back there, Figure Art Zero, and then just regular figure arts of Krillin and regular figure arts of Goku. Just regular Goku, I guess you would say. So, I've organized these differently. These are all new organizations of some of the stuff. This shelf right here is now just a Japanese celebration of Japanese games and anime. So, as you can see here, we got some Metal Gear, we got some Ryoko, and I'm actually going to shine some light on the situation here. Ryoko, I guess you would say, from Kill la Kill. Setsuna from Kill la Kill? I forgot the names exactly. Let me see, 15 back there, Noctis, and back in the corner hiding are these awesome Dragon Quest 8 figures I have. But yeah, just figures, and I have this extra Metal Gear figure arts right here as well. Nindroid Snake smoking a cigarette. You gotta get that. You gotta check that out. So yeah, just kind of a Japanese appreciation right here. This down here is, if you can't tell, my Mario kind of celebration. This is all stuff Mario. These are kind of amiibos in here too, as you can see. Just anything that has to do with like the Mario universe is here. So we got even the freaking... This was a Nintendo Coins like exclusive. Not Nintendo Coins, Nintendo like... What was it? I forgot the name of it. Nintendo Club, that's what it was. Nintendo Club, this Luigi right here. And also that is an exclusive to that I have. And they've kind of really... They don't have physical goods anymore that you can get with the Nintendo Coins. Kind of a bummer. So yeah, just lots of Mario stuff right here. And I love it. This down here is kind of just regular, like not Japanese. Like there's some like Morgan Freeman. Gordon Freeman. The BioShock Big Daddy back there. Gosh, focus. Back there. Sonic the Hedgehog, which is Japanese, but and then I got that Gears of War. Gosh, all these Japanese figures are getting in the way. Batman from NES, so this was kind of that, and then it's kind of became overflow of the Japanese shelf. With Titus looking like a pimp. And you know, but there is a lot of American stuff on there, but kind of battling for space. This down here is all TV shows and movies. So we got my Darkwing Duck collection right here. Got the Funko Pop Darkwing Duck and the I forgot what, I think it's just a regular, I forgot who made that. And then we got some Breaking Bad stuff right here. In the process of moving, I broke his freaking glasses. So that really sucks. So he's not very intimidating, Heisenberg, right there. Plenty of the Apes, Star Wars in the back. Got a bunch of Star Wars figures. His gifts and stuff. Wolverine. Kenny got me that. Kenny Slapjack, if you've seen him in the videos before. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So now I want to get to the big enchilada. We're going to go around this room, but I want you to sit down for this part. I want you to sit down and brace yourself. This was something I kind of planned out in my head before I moved here. I was like, this is how I have to have it. If you watch the last game video, I think people were even surprised. I think people were like, whoa, I didn't know you had that many games or whatever. But I've never been able to show them ever really off at all. When I started the channel, I think I had just moved stuff around. I just had them all in my closet in bins. All these old games. Because I added a desk, I had all stuff, whatever. I had the figure shelf. No longer. The collection is out of the closet. And I give you the game shelves. So, we'll start from the back, but this is this wall. A lot of you have not seen this wall. No, none of you have ever seen this wall. This is where all my game collection goes, and in the middle is the TV and the consoles and stuff right here. So, without further ado, we'll just go kind of shelf by shelf, and I'll kind of talk over stuff as we go along. But this was kind of my dream situation, was to have, you know, shelves on both sides and a TV in the middle was kind of my dream situation, and it's here. The dream has come true, as they say. So we will just start from the top and work our way to the bottom. You know how the song goes, started from the top, now we're here. I think that's right. So at the top, right here, this stuff you guys have not seen, a bunch of this that you have not seen at the last video. So this is brand new, Lost, the Blu-ray set of this. This is one of the best things I own, one of my favorite things I own. Has all of the seasons, all 6 seasons of Lost, which I've recently started re-watching with my wife. This came with an epilogue episode that was hidden under the cover. You had to like turn this matte thing, and it was hidden in this compartment on this thing. I do have an unboxing video. No, it's on my other account. It's on a personal account. But I might link to that in here, just so you guys can kind of see. Maybe, if I remember, to do that. But I did an unboxing on that. That thing was awesome. One of my favorite things I own. But that is my favorite character from Lost, John Locke, eating the orange. One of my favorite moments in Lost. Up here is the Mask of Phantasm figure Joker, Batman, and Robin. They made more of these, the animated series of Batman. Amazing series. As a kid, I loved it, and it still holds up. But they made some more of these, but these were the 4 I wanted. Kramer back there, that used to be on my old work desk. Good old Kramer from Seinfeld. There's Hellboy, there's a White Walker from Game of Thrones, and Sean Connery from Indiana Jones, and I think the Holy Grail. I could be wrong about that title. And then the Breaking Bad Blu-ray box set back there, all 5, I think it was 5 seasons? Yeah, 5 seasons of Breaking Bad's back there, hidden between Hellboy. You can see the emblem and Robin right there. But that kind of folds out. It's really cool. It folds out in like plastic things. You can just find a video online, but I love that thing as well. Good Blu-ray box sets. My arm's getting tired. Jeez. So up here, so I should show maybe this first. These are glass shelves. This is all from IKEA. I love IKEA stuff. Very slick, very minimalist. But kind of pricey to get. These doors were sold separately, so I had to end up getting 4 of these doors. I think they were like 65, 70 a pop. So save up your money, kids, and you can get this. So I'll open this up to make it a little bit clearer, but you can kind of see through the glass. But I'm giving you an open door policy here. How about that? So up here is my Wii collection. Not many games because the Wii kind of had a lot of shovelware. And all of these games that you're going to see today, I will probably do a more in-depth, like talking about different collections. I did that for my N64 games. And I'll probably do it for all the rest of these games. So I'll just kind of briefly talk. So there's my Wii games. Lots of shovelware for that system, but lots of great stuff. Super Mario Galaxy, Xenoblade up there. Classic. The Metroid Prime 3. Ooh, so good. Right here's my PS3 collection. PS3 kind of had a rough start in my eyes, but second half kind of had some great stuff. There's great stuff like the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection, all of the Metal Gear Solid games in there, and Metal Gear Solid 4, one of my favorite from the system, one of my favorite from the whole generation, that last generation. Final Fantasy, this freaking thing, I'll show real quick. It is the collector's edition of Final Fantasy. Whoa, zoom out big time. Final Fantasy. Oh, frick! About dropped it. Jeez. So Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 collector's edition, which if it doesn't keep freaking falling out here, has a little bit of mini art book in there. So maybe I'll show this for just a second. Kind of cool, kind of neat. One of my favorite games of all time. So this has like kind of an art book. I'll have to double check. I might edit that because there was a code right here. I might have already used it, but whatever. But yeah, like an art book and stuff right here. Kind of cool. But the problem with it is, it is freaking large. I'm gonna put you down for just a second here. Put this back up. Yeah, it's freaking large and it doesn't fit. It kind of sticks out. There's no good place to freaking put this thing, so that's why that is the way it is. Starting next, after my PS3 collection, is my Xbox 360 collection. Great freaking system. Loved the 360. Got the Halo 3 limited edition. Didn't have really a lot of money at that time. I was in 11th grade when this came out. Halo 3. Back in 07. I think it came out. Yeah, I think it was 07. Did not have a lot of money, so couldn't get that freaking giant helmet version of Halo 3, but great collection of Halo games there. Halo Reach, even Halo 4 was pretty fine. That was their first 343's first Halo. Yeah, the Elder Scrolls Classic series on there. Next up is my Wii U collection. I think the Wii U had some pretty freaking cool games for as much of a freaking failure that system is. Sales wise, that was just unbelievably flop. But some great games came out for it. Splatoon, brand new IP for it. Tropical Freeze. A lot of these though have been ported to the Switch since these have come out. So Over here's the start of my Switch collection, which is pretty pathetic right now. I only have 3 games. I can talk about all of them. Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and Breath of the Wild, my favorite games of all time. That's it for so far. So hopefully there's some more stuff that's worth getting. Right here's my PS4 collection. I've loved the freaking PS4 this generation. They have blown me away with the amount of games. I would even have more on here, but some of them are not games I really am into, but really are great sellers and people really like them. So yeah, that's all of my PS4 games right here. This right here is Night Trap, which was a game for Sega CD that was basically the start of the ESRB. There's a scene in there, kind of a provocative. It wasn't even that bad at all, but there's a shower scene with one of these girls at the sleepover. It's not even bad. Look it up. You can even have grandma in the room. It's not bad at all. But yeah, this was the limited run, which makes a bunch of these like indie games. They get physical releases. Sorry. But I had to pick this up. This went almost freaking immediately, and it has a Night Trap. This is like an FMV game, so it's very just 80s cheesy. You're playing a movie basically and making choices, but I loved this box art. I loved it comes with a cassette of the theme. So cheesy, but getting a cassette in 2018 was just really cool, or 2017, whenever it came out, I can't remember, but got that. So yeah, a bunch of my PS4 games here. Some really cool special editions I got this year for Metal Gear Solid 5. Batman had a really cool one and stuff. This is something I was so freaking happy that they released separately. So they came out for, I think it was the 20th anniversary. Yeah, I think it was 20th anniversary. They came out with a PS4 special edition that looked like the PS1. Like it had the gray color scheme. It looked just like the PS1 right down there. You can actually see. But as a PS4. But it came with this controller, and I was like, oh, please, Sony, release it separately. And they heard that cry from all the way in Cincinnati. They said, okay, and they released this separately. Boom, I pre-ordered that day one. And I'm even scared to use it because I just love that they use these same buttons that was on the PS1 controller. Love that. This is an extra PS4 controller. They kind of changed the look of it a tiny bit. This is more matte on here, like gray, where the other one's like kind of black on the launch model. But this came with the PS4 Pro, and I have not, that I got recently, and I've just not used it because I still am using my other controller. Alright, here's the good stuff I've been dying to, even at my old room, there was never even a period of time I had some of these out. Some of these have just always been in a container. But this is my GameCube, and under it is actually a Game Boy Advanced player. It could play the old Game Boy games, and this thing kind of retails for a lot, but I'm really happy I got it. But I played a couple Game Boy games that way. Just hook it up, and you can use your controller and play old GameCube games. So, love my GameCube, still works. This came with the Legend of Zelda Collector's, I think it's just called the Collector's Edition. Whatever, it just came with Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, all that stuff, and got that a couple years after launch, probably like 2004, so 2 or 3 years after it launched I got it. These right here are just PS4 Move controllers, I just didn't have a place for them. This is my NES that my parents got, and they let me have. They no longer like play it or whatever, but this is the one they played games on when my mom was pregnant with me. She really got into a game, and I'll probably show it to you up here, but they used to be really big into games and had this NES, so I got it from them. This right here is my SNES. So this was the first console I was definitely around for by the time it came out, and I got a couple years late, maybe like a year or two late, but I got the Super Nintendo. Yeah, I got a couple of years later after it released, but loved the system, and my favorite from freaking Nintendo. And then the N64, another console right here. Love N64, so classic games. Not a great library in my eyes, but there's that. Sega Genesis right here. And if you're wondering, maybe you're already typing up the comment, hey, you need to make these shelves a little bigger and see back in there. I'm going to get to that, why these are kind of skinnier. You can kind of see some of them, but I'm just happy to have the space now to even do this. It really makes me happy, guys. Not going to lie. Sega Dreamcast got really late back in like 2005 or 6. No, it was like 2004 or 5 I got this. Got it from a flea market. And you'll see that collection later. The original Xbox got 1 year before the Xbox 360 came out. Pretty fun system. I don't have a lot of games for it, but it's pretty cool. Halo and stuff. PlayStation 1, this is the only console I have that has stickers on it. I'm not a big sticker guy, and even when I put these on, I wasn't. But what happened was these came in the PlayStation magazine. And I just loved, for some reason I put the PlayStation logo on the PlayStation. Like, who cares? But I put both of these stickers on at the time. I was like, I think this is kind of cool. I like how they're just simple, clean, and whatever. It's just the logo, but why put it on the PlayStation? Kind of weird, but it's already a freaking PlayStation, but that's the only system I have that has stickers on it. I do not like game skins or anything like that. As a kid, I did not like them. PS2, one of my favorite consoles. Both of these, PS1 and PS2, are my favorite consoles of all time. Bet you didn't even know this. You can actually turn this logo right here vertical because they sold stands, and I actually had this at one point vertical for some of the time that I played on it. I had it vertical, but yeah, you can just turn that. And I think those things can break. I've seen them like not be on there, and you can get, luckily you can get replacements on eBay. My Wii, which I freaking chipped right here at the top, you can kind of see. One of my only systems I have that are really kind of have any damage points. I'm really careful with the stuff I own, but I had these speakers right here sitting up, and they fell, and my Wii was under it, and chipped the heck out of that. Called Nintendo to see if I could replace it, and they said, yeah, that'll be like $300, or like whatever the cost of the system was. And I just told them, I'm not going to do that, and they just hung up. Very dumb that they couldn't just replace that front faceplate. I don't know why that was such an issue. It's bringing me back bad memories. One of my favorite shelves, one that I've got a lot of compliments on when people see it, even people that don't game like this shelf. But these are all of my handhelds that I own. Every single one. Except for if you want to say the Switch. The Switch is not here. This is all of my handhelds. Very happy that they all fit on the shelf. But I'll just start back here in the back. That's a Game Boy. I lost my original Game Boy as a kid. Breaks my heart. I don't know what happened to it. But that is one I got recently from a friend sold me. Game Boy Advance, that's the original. I'll point out which ones are original, whatever, but got that at launch. Game Boy Advance was crazy for its time to play like the Super Nintendo level games on the go. Game Boy Micro, which kind of is up there in price because it came out after the DS was out, so it was like 05 this came out. The DS was out and they made another model. This thing has the smallest freaking screen. I played a game on it and was blind after I play. I'm not kidding. I could not, everything was fuzzy after looking at that small screen, so wouldn't recommend it, but very, very cool timepiece because at the time cell phones were just getting smaller and smaller and people were trying to make them smaller. And now we're on the opposite end of that that kind of trend of making phones a lot bigger. Back there's Game Boy SP, my favorite handheld of all time. It closed into that clamshell. Awesome. Just, oh man, I freaking love it. As a kid, that was the perfect thing to just pull around. It folds up. You can put that in your pocket. Never got in the way. This is the first Game Boy that had a backlit screen. Awesome. Gosh, it's my favorite. It is my favorite handheld. We got the DS back here. Yeah, we'll talk DS back here. Got that at launch. They didn't have a midnight launch, so I actually went to the Game Crazy, which was an old store that is now closed that was connected to a Hollywood Video. Got that morning that they opened. Didn't have a midnight release. 3DS launch model that I got. Game Boy Color that my dad, he was working as a postal worker. and found this on the ground on one of his routes and gave it to me, and it still worked. Game Boy Color. That was my Game Boy Color, because I had another one that got stolen out of a car when the whole car got stolen from my cousin. It's a whole nother story, but Game Boy Pocket, not a launch model. I forgot where I got that. I got that as a kid. My parents got that from somewhere. I don't know, the flea market or what. This was a Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Original, that I got from a yard selling recently. That might have even been in one of the early videos I did for the channel where I did kind of game pickups and stuff. But got that from out there. These are my limited edition 3DSs. Right here, that is the Ocarina of Time Special Edition 3DS XL. And then they made a Majora's Mask collector's edition from when Majora's Mask 3DS came out. And that is the new 3DS, the stupid naming structure, so I do have all of the 3DS models. The original 3DS, 3DS XL, and the 3DS, new 3DS. I think they're on a weird 2DS kick, too. And oh, you know what? I actually don't have all the handhelds I have over here. I freaking lied. I cannot believe I lied to you guys. But you'll see in a little bit. You'll see what. You see why. PS Vita. Don't like that system. But great screen, great hardware. But man, they crapped on the library big time. I think I've only played the original Gravity Rush on that. We've got the launch model PSP. Got that on launch day and felt like I was in the freaking future playing like between PS1, PS2 level games. Back then in 05 was unbelievable. I have Metal Gear Acid for that. I have some other games you'll see in a little bit, but yeah, the PSP. And all of these are sitting on, if you're pondering and typing up a comment, where the heck did you get these? These came from like Macy's. Yeah, I think it was Macy's. These are all kind of like these picture frame holders, as you can see. And I wanted to get the clear ones so they didn't kind of like get in the way of, you know, the actual handheld. So these were very hard to find in the amount of numbers that I need them. They only had like 2 or 3 at a time, so I had to go to multiple Macy's to get these. So there are these. So they're different sizes, smaller and bigger ones. So I just kind of had to measure them out, bring some home, and kind of figure that out. It was kind of aggravating. This shelf you've seen before in the old game room. This is my Metal Gear Solid Play Arts Kai figures. Some of you have subscribed because I was really big into figures and unboxing, and these basically broke my bank. These were very expensive, but these are all of my Metal Gear Solid figures. I got every single one except there's one variant weird color of Gray Fox back there, but I basically have all the figures and stuff. So, and then up here on the front is the Metal Gear Solid 5 limited edition. Came with it is a replica of his arm in Metal Gear Solid 5, Snake's arm. But yeah, I love this shelf, and what I'm going to be doing, bringing back to this, I'm actually going to be taking this whole shelf right here of figures, and I'm building the own shelf, and I think I'm going to put them up here, possibly. They're all going to get their own space. I'm thinking up there somewhere they're going to get their own shelf. I just really love this collection of Metal Gear figures. Metal Gear Solid is my favorite game series, so deserves its own shelf, and once I do that, I'll be able to move all these down, and your cries will be answered. I think you'll get more space. You'll see more of the consoles, so calm your fears, calm your cries. Real quick, this is kind of like, right here is just my couch. You've seen it in the Hangouts, just this comfy little couch. IKEA desk right there, boom, you can put crap on it. Ever seen a table? Now you have. This right here is from my old game room. Me old game room. I don't know why I said it like that. That is Logitech. I've had this since 03. This thing has worked perfect. This was built to last. The last of its kind. Because now things are not built to last as they used to be. Very cheaply made things now, but this thing rocks. And it sounds great. Sounds freaking amazing. Especially in this new room. There's better acoustics. I don't know what it is, but they still sound great. This is a new TV I got when I moved here. This is a Vizio 4K, it's model M50E1. And I loved this so much, I got another model in the living room that's the 55 inch. But this is the 50 inch. Vizio, love this freaking thing. Oh my gosh, beautiful picture. Didn't cost as much as the other competition, so will always vouch for Vizio because that's what my last TV was. Great price, great quality. I don't do anything else. At the top there is my Wii sensor bar for the Wii. That is the camera for the PS Vita. It's for PS4 you can use it for, but you know what we're all using it for. This right here is a switcher box that I got because what I'm about to show you. You just plug a bunch of HDMI into that. That goes into one port on the side or in there because this TV only has 4 ports on it. So you gotta spread it out, my man. There's my switch right here on the left. And right back here is how I actually stream my games is through this device. If the freaking cord would go the other way. I use the Elgato Capture HD. So right now I got my 360 running that because the last thing I did was the Ninja Gaiden Hangout. And then I got it all as organized as I can. It looks like a mess, but is an organized mess. It actually is a lot cleaner than you would think back here. And what's interesting is back here, that top cord is a USB, and that bottom cord is an HDMI. The top cord goes, that is my Game Capture HD runs into that. That goes under the house and to my computer right next to me. And the bottom cord also goes to the computer. That is an HDMI, so I can actually use this as a second monitor for my Mac. So that could be for things from like I can actually game on my Mac and use this big screen TV to play. Or I can, well yeah, that's all I'm using it for. Well, I can like watch movies and stuff. Well, no, I can do that through the TV. This TV's a smart TV. Basically for gaming and to use as a second monitor. So that goes into that and that comes out over here on this wall, which I'll show you in a second. So just chill out for a second about this. Don't even ask me. This shelf is the other, why is this not focusing? This is the other side of all of this. It's the left shelf. So happy I was able to display these. These are the collector's editions for the Arkham City. No, Arkham Knight. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Arkham Knight. I got, there's the Skyrim collector's edition with the little, I think those are called Adorbs. Something like that, but that's the little Dovahkiin figure. Uncharted 4 Collector's Edition. Love Uncharted 4, and there's a Crash Bandicoot figure I got for this past Christmas of the new Crash Bandicoot. Pretty freaking cool, but I love having them on the top, so I like giving them more room. Because before they were kind of hidden on this shelf. Like some of them were kind of back in here. In there, if you can see. Why is this not focusing? Like back in there, so. Yeah, not anymore. So, this right here, up at the top, let's open, you know what? Open door policy. This right here is my NES collection. NES games boxed are pretty expensive, so I don't really collect as much as I used to. Past couple years and stuff, I got all I wanted. The way I collect all of these games, when I was getting newer, going back trying to get these NES games and Sega and all these older ones, I wanted stuff I was proud to have on the shelf that I wanted to take up space. That's how I collect. So I did reach out and start buying on eBay. Metroid, Mario Brothers 1 through 3, and then Legend of Zelda and The Adventures of Link all boxed because those I felt like were the best on the system, like one of my favorites on the system, so I wanted to get them boxed. And that Adventures of Link is absolutely like really, really freaking mint. Really mint. Don't notice that up there. It is really mint. The map and all that stuff in there. I think this Mario Brothers 2 is freaking mint too. They're really, really, really great quality in there. So really happy with those. There's the rest of my NES collection, and I've actually I'm kind of missing some room right here. Running out of room a little bit on some things, not much, but yeah, there's all my NES games that I have. And right here is the NES Classic Edition that I got recently on the freaking second printing. It was really tough to get that, as many of you know, but so I just place it up there for now. I may have a permanent home sometime later. This is my SNES collection. These are a lot of what I had just as a kid. That Donkey Kong Country, Country 3, and Out of This World, and Super Metroid are all new. Oh, and that freaking Legend of Zelda that I got in the past couple years. That Donkey Kong Country is minty. That box is really good. I got that from, if you've seen our other podcast, there's an arcade near us called Arcade Legacy. Picked that up, really great price for that. I already had Donkey Kong Country loose that I got with my SNES when I was a kid, but I wanted the box, dude. You gotta have the box. That's interesting fact about all these. So SNES is one of the hardest to collect for. So I only grabbed that Donkey Kong Country. That Out of This World was pretty cheap, and that Legend of Zelda was kind of pricey. And then I got the heck out of Dodge after I bought, out of all of these games, I think it still is my most expensive game I own, and that is Super Metroid boxed with the manual and all that. That costed me $100, and that was kind of my limit. I was like, I don't want to go over like $100 for one single game. So that is the most expensive game in my collection, unless some of the stuff changed. So well, excluding collector's editions probably too. Some of those are probably gone up. My Sega Genesis collection, most of this stuff is I actually had to start from scratch. I got some of this is actually my original Sonic and Knuckles, but everything else I had sold. The Mortal Kombat I had, and that Sonic and Knuckles. Everything else I had to start fresh because as a kid, one of the only two dumb mistakes I made for collecting my games and stuff, I sold my entire Genesis collection. So, oh, and this X-Men too. Anything that got boxed, I saved for some reason, but yeah, those are my the X-Men, Sonic and Knuckles, and Mortal Kombat was the only thing that survived from that era. But yeah, those are my original copies. And then you can actually see, just real quick, I wanted to show you. I have on all of these boxed games, they all have this protective stuff, because I mean these are freaking expensive, and the cardboard is not very good at, like, you know, protecting. So you gotta get protection. You gotta wear protection. So these work great. Picked them up from eBay. I forgot how much they were. Not bad, but kind of added up in price after I got so many of them. But happy to have those now. They protect the games well. Game Boy camera that I had as a kid. This thing was so ahead of its time, it's not even funny. This can swivel around and you can actually shoot pictures away from the Game Boy or take selfies with this thing. Unbelievable, awesome. And then this kind of thing just holds a bunch of like loose disc that I have from like master copies of stuff, of like DVDs that I have of like my own work and stuff like that. Next up is my N64 collection of games. I believe I have a video on this if you want to see more in detail kind of what I think about these games, but that Hey You Pikachu was, I'll kind of point out stuff that I've that's newer, and everything else I've had since I was a kid, because I think I just filled in my collection a little bit. That Banjo-Kazooie box is new. I only had a loose copy as a kid, but wanted to get the box. And I think I sold my old loose one that was kind of rickety, or maybe the newer one. I liked my old rickety one that I got from a flea market. Funny story about Banjo-Kazooie, when I had that loose copy, was as a kid at the flea market, my parents gave me a choice between getting Ocarina of Time and Banjo-Kazooie, because I'd rented Ocarina of Time before, was kind of intimidated by it, so I picked up Banjo-Kazooie. I don't think you can go wrong with either game, but that's how the cookie crumbled, and I still had a great time. Love Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Tooie I had as a kid, since like a birthday or something. GoldenEye is kind of newer, wanted to get that boxed. Classic game. Loved playing that with kids back then. Hey You Pikachu's new. Kind of hard to find a box that isn't like kind of ripped up to hell. So I'm happy to have that. And yeah, everything else. Oh, Star Fox, I think is newer that I got. I kind of wanted to get kind of the best stuff on the system. Oh, and that Paper Mario. Whoopsies. Paper Mario right there. And I have a story about this little Game Boy. That Ocarina of Time is actually new. I never owned Ocarina of Time. I played it on that GameCube that I told you, that collection. I rented it, kind of was intimidated as a kid, and played it later on the GameCube that way and beat it. Love Ocarina of Time, great. And then my favorite game of all time, The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, right there. That is my original copy I got from EB Games before they were bought out or merged, I guess, with GameStop. These are my Dreamcast games. I only have a couple. Shenmue, Sonic Adventure 2, Soul Calibur, and Web Browser, which is, you could browse the web on your Dreamcast back then. And these are all my, like, music CDs, and I think right here is just, like, my soundtracks. Yeah, I don't see any more. So these are all my soundtracks, and some of these are actually, like, still shrink-wrapped. So this, like, you can see, like, my Smash Brothers. You got this when you pre-ordered Smash Brothers on the 3DS, I believe. So I got that, and what's this one? Majora's Mask. I got that came, I think, in the box with my Majora's Mask Collector's Edition, and the Breath of the Wild. This one came with Breath of the Wild. I just like to keep them shrink wrapped. I like that. This is a kind of limited edition Collector's Edition of Tales of Symphonia. And they made that kind of remake or remaster. And I got one of those extra. I had an extra one of these plastic things. Use that. This is an expensive thing. This is for the Game Boy player. How you actually play the Game Boy player is you use this thing. So, kind of cool. But yeah, those are all my game soundtracks. I don't have a lot. Don't have a lot of Dreamcast games I wanted to get. Some of that stuff's been re-released. I got some stuff on GameCube, stuff like that. But yeah, and this Game Boy. Oh my gosh, this freaking Game Boy is minty fresh. Daggone, it does not have a nick on it. I got this at a on a site called Everything But the Door. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And what it is hold on, I'm trying to fix something near my computer, my Wi-Fi router. Sorry for this interruption. Everything But the Door. So I bid on this thing, this lot of games. It's almost its own story. Maybe I'll tell it later. But one of the things in the lot was this Game Boy, and I actually won the lot. But I did not know how minty fresh this is. This has the original styrofoam in it. Opening the daggone thing, it seemed like no one had touched it in like since they bought it. This is one of my favorite things in my collection because it is so untouched. I like to get freaking gloves out if I try to show anybody that, but I don't show people often. It is like mint. I love that. I love that Game Boy. But it's the original. It's that gray one that I have over there. So I got one loose and one in that box in there. Right here. So, mwah! Kiss it with the zoom. Mwah! I love it. Right here is just kind of my music CDs. I kept some of my music CDs. I sold a bunch of them. You gotta have Linkin Park. But yeah, there's some Gorillaz in there, stuff I got, and then some Modest Mouse. And then some like random local band stuff that I got a hold of. I think my like dad got that from somebody. Gave it to me. I love Modest Mouse, my favorite band, but stuff on there. And next up is these Game Boy regular and Game Boy Advanced games. Well, they kind of continue down there. This right here is my favorite thing in my whole collection. That is this. If I can get it out, I will show you. Excuse me. Pokemon Blue, my original copy that I got back in 1998 or 1999. Kids at my school kept saying, "Hey, Pokemon is awesome. You gotta check out this Pokemon thing." And this is my original copy. I kept boxed. A lot of these I actually had to go back and get some of the boxes for. Because remember I said number one dumb thing I did was Sega Genesis. Number two dumb thing, I threw some of the boxes away on my old Game Boy games. But as a kid, as I was doing that and saying like, oh, I can just keep them in a folder you know, the old loose carts. I don't need the thing. I got to these and went, no. This is like, I love Pokemon. These games are close to me. I'm keeping them. So as a kid, I was even smart enough to go, no, keeping that. So this original blue is my favorite thing in my whole collection. Love, 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 love. That is my second favorite game of all time. I think those games just nailed it. The between trading with people and stuff, some of my favorite memories of games are in these original Pokemon games. But some of these Pokemon games, when I was going back and collecting, I had to go back and get new ones. So Yellow, I didn't have a box for, because I had that Game Boy that got stolen. It came with that Game Boy. It came loose, just the Pokemon Yellow. There's Silver and Gold and Crystal. Gosh, I gotta get this light right. But a lot of these, when I was collecting, I had a bunch of these new ones. So all those Zelda ones I did not ever have. Yu-Gi-Oh! I had just loose and stuff, but yeah, a lot of these, I had to go back and buy some new ones. Those I kept. I kept some of these Game Boy Advances games I actually kept. There's Seaman on Dreamcast that would not fit up there. Right, so I thought it just fit right with the Game Boy Advance games, just sneaking in there. And I'll just go down here real quick, show the rest of the Game Boy Advanced. Down here, some more Pokemon games I had to get. I had Ruby in the box and the game, but I didn't have Sapphire or Emerald. I never got Sapphire or Emerald because at that time, just games started getting more expensive, and never got Sapphire. Trying to sit down on this daggone chair. Yeah, so there's that. Oh, wrong shelf. All those. This is my most recent purchase. I got Sword of Mana just maybe a couple months to a year ago. Box, I had it loose. That was one of the ones I freaking threw away. Wanted the box for that. But yeah, this I just recently got from, I think I talked about it when I did these kind of streams, but Tony Hawk's Underground for the Game Boy Advanced. Got that at a thrift store. It is shrink wrapped, and I thought, why not? I thought that was just a weird find, so I got it. Here's my PSP collection. PSP did not have that many games, but as you can see, it did have quite a couple Metal Gear games. And I really wanted to have the complete collection of Metal Gear games, so that's what you see right here. All the English kind of games, Metal Gear games. And then Medieval, awesome little remake of the first Medieval. I don't know how you say that. The Ratchet Clank Size Matters was like a third party or another developer made a Ratchet Clank game. Pretty fun. Had a good time on PSP actually. And then these are all kind of manuals, loose manuals right here. If you can see that, it's right there. And then this stuff's kind of cool. Kind of show. Maybe some people have not seen this, but this was on the launch of the PSP. It came with some demos for some games, yeah. And it also had some like music videos, like you could play movies on this thing. That's coming from the Game Boy. You know what I mean? Like at that time, or the DS even did not have like you're playing movies and like TV shows and stuff like that, and then like had some music on there as well. But yeah, it was just music videos and stuff. So this also came, yeah, see, full-length movie for the PSP. So all of Spider-Man 2 is on this freaking UMD disc. But I thought it was really freaking cool. At that time, it was just unbelievable, but kind of flopped because UMD was kind of weird. But yeah, that, and then Metroid Prime Hunters. This came with the launch DS right here. See, it says coming soon. Because it wasn't done yet. They had not finished Hunters in time for launch, but they were trying to get it out. But pretty cool. I have the demo version of that came with the launch DS, just to kind of whet people's appetites. So let me put that back. Oh, and then, yeah, we'll just talk about PS1. PS1 is my favorite console. It's really close with the PS2. The library, I just have so many PS1 games, and you don't even see like the demo disc I had and the rentals I did as a kid, you know. Because I only got games for like birthdays and Christmases and stuff, and rarely, sometimes I would get some games another way as a kid, but Man, this is my favorite freaking console. I could do freaking 2 videos on this, but here's all my PS1 games. That's my original Metal Gear Solid copy. Not many of these are actually new games. They are a lot of what I had. Like the Xenogears is new. I did not have that. And the Tomba games were very expensive to get. These Tomba games right here in the middle. Everything else I pretty much had. And there's a couple demo discs. I got rid of a lot of demo discs, but I kept these like 4 or 5 that meant a lot to me. And I think my cousin still has them, so I might actually try to nab those. I kind of feel in the collecting mood to get those back. There's the Gameboy Advance up here that we're right here. Here's my DS collection. Loved the DS. It was such a weird system at the time. It was made people scratch their head like, why am I using this and like this stylus and this touchscreen? But man, it worked out great. Some of my favorite games from the system are these Professor Layton games I played in college. Fond memories of these, but why did the box art, look at this box art, first, second, third game, and then on the last Spectre, they just went with that. Why did they do that? If anybody knows somebody at level 5, send them this video, ask them. Heart Gold and Silver, Soul Silver, I never got. I did that in the collecting days, and then I didn't have Platinum either, or Diamond. I think I had Pearl. One of those. I think I had Diamond, I didn't have Pearl. But, yeah, Brain Age, like what a weird game that was, like back then. My dad, I think, was the one that bought that. Like, they marketed it perfect because my dad, who wasn't at that time super into like Nintendo stuff, said, hey, I bought this. Can I like play your DS and play this? Yeah. So pretty cool. Go straight into, that was what I got at launch, was the Super Mario 64 DS. Got that at launch. Great launch title. Playing an N64 game on the go was special experience, really special to me. Here's my 3DS collection right here. Loved on the 3DS these little the icons that they actually have on the dashboard, you know, when you put the game in. It's the same, I believe the same icon. Somebody might correct me on that, but I just love that and the colors on this. And then on the Switch, they have bombed it. They have just totally screwed the pooch, as they say. I love the box art on these, or the spine art, I should say. So there's all that. That Xenoblade Chronicles is actually shrink wrapped. So I have 2 shrink wrapped 3DS games. I have, or actually, yeah, I have 2. This Xenoblade is shrink wrapped because I've already played the Wii version. But yeah, that's shrink wrapped, and so is the Legend of Zelda. Oh no, I have 3. A Link Between Worlds. I was so finicky and loved collecting and stuff that when I got the Link Between Worlds, no, that 3DS I showed you was for Link Between Worlds, not Ocarina of Time. Take it back. I've dishonored the family. Cut that out of existence of your mind. When I got that came with it digitally, Link Between Worlds, but I wanted a hard copy. I really wanted a hard copy, so I went and bought this separate. I was working a different job back then. I could do stuff like this, but different circumstances. But I got this shrink wrap. Never opened it because I played it digitally. And this is also shrink wrapped. I got this the other day because this game seemed like such a cash grab. It didn't seem like it had a lot of heart and soul into it. And the reviews kind of testified to that. But I got this the other day for $8 at Walmart. That was the right price for me because I just felt like this game was kind of soulless. But I still want to check this out. But maybe play co-op with somebody. But and then I have, ow, frick! I hit my elbow on this freaking desk. Dislike that, but like the video, but like whatever. Right here is Metroid Prime Samus Returns. I forgot the name for a second, but that is the collector's edition that has awesome box art. It is the original freaking box art. It's either a flippable cover, like an alternate cover, or it's on there. Yeah, I think it's alternate cover of the original Metroid 2 for Game Boy. They just they put that on there. Remix of that. Awesome. And have not got around to it yet because when I got that, I did not have my 3DS. Like, that was in the closet still, so I should get to that soon. And then another PSP game, Daxter. which was just Daxter. Lots of little cute spin-offs back then on PSP, and it was pretty fun. But would not get something like that today, I don't think. Right down here is my GameCube collection. Luigi's Mansion launched with the freaking system and still holds up today. It is a beautiful, gorgeous game and a fun game. I got all the Prince of Persia's for some reason. I got a lot of, for some reason, that was what my friend had it on, and I just decided to get on GameCube. And that is one of the only third-party games I bought, because everything else I just bought for PS2. And Beyond Good and Evil is another weird one that I chose to go with GameCube for. So, Prince of Persia, and then that Beyond Good and Evil, I have both for GameCube. Soul Calibur is a newer pickup. I got that, or newer, when I started collecting in like 2013. I grabbed that because Link is in it. That's why I grabbed it. I was thinking because somebody gave me Super Smash Bros. Melee the other day. Oh, it's from my last job. Yeah, when I was collecting, they were like, yeah, I have that, but I don't care for it. Do you just want it? And that is like not a cheap game, and they just gave it to me. So, yeah, I think it was somebody from my work just handed that to me, and I was like, are you sure you don't want freaking anything for that? But thank you, friend from past job. Thank you. Yeah, and there is right here it's just called Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. Weird title, but that came with my GameCube right there. I'll show the box art. That's kind of maybe something people don't see a lot. Is the Collector's Edition. So it has it's like you see a promotional disc, includes 4 classic games, and they're all ported to that same disc. Pretty cool. Twilight Princess came out for GameCube and Wii. It came out on the Wii on launch. I bought this for my friend when he was selling off some of his collection because I just wanted to have every Zelda. I'm a big collector for like certain series, like Zelda, Metal Gear. I was before Kojima left, all that. But so I still need to get Breath of the Wild on Wii U. I might pick that up. I feel like that might be a rare tile later on. And Wind Waker I got for Christmas that year when I got all that. I think my parents bought that. But as the dreaded, you might have seen on some of my other stuff, I didn't, if I got it back then, these are the Player's Choice copies of that. If I had as a kid, I decided I'm just going to keep them, but when I was collecting, I made sure not to get Player's Choice because I like the original box art. It's pretty cool, but there's all that. Donkey Konga was some fun games on that, but there's all those. Now getting to one of my favorite collections, one of my biggest collections I have is PS2. Tons of great games for PS2 from Dark Cloud, great JRPGs. I basically found my love for JRPGs in the system, and that game right there is one of my favorite games of all time, and the start of that JRPG obsession was Final Fantasy X. This system has so many great JRPGs on it. It's endless. There's some that I don't own that there is a waterfall of them. But this game was interesting because at the time there was a glitch that was causing memory cards to get erased, so I bought a separate memory card just for Gran Turismo. It got its own memory card. I picked up late when I was collecting Katamari Damacy. I picked up late. This is pretty cool. I'm going to show this. This is probably my most recent pickup. It's from my friend. My friend went to Japan, and he picked this up as a souvenir, and it is Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. It was that's basically $5. The English version, the American version of this goes for a lot more. Subsistence is the collector's edition that came out, and I remember at the time that coming out, and I was like, do I want this? Do I want to spend my money on this in middle school? Like 05 it came out. Chose not to. I wish I kind of would just have dipped then because it's very expensive to get now, the English version. But I like in Japanese game stores, they have this kind of cool wrap on it that they put. So it's not new. It's definitely a used copy, as you can see from this kind of use at the top and whatever. But yeah, this is the Metal Gear Solid 3 Japanese edition of Subsistence. And I thought that was really cool. What a cool souvenir. Didn't cost them much, and I love it. I freaking love this thing. So, because I do not own that Subsistence as an English version. So one of the cooler things I own just recently. Automotion down there. Those were some pretty cool games. Automotion 2 and 3. Pretty fun. Ratchet and Clank. Loved freaking Ratchet and Clank. There are 4 great games for the system. Rogue Galaxy is a spiritual successor to, right there, Dark Cloud series. And I have a retrospective looking back at those games. Love those games. Highly recommend them for like action JRPG kind of fans. Shadow Colossus got it launched. Silent Hill 2 I got recently because somebody I know, it's kind of a funny story, does kind of looks in dumpsters sometimes near like certain malls and stuff, and they got a lucky day and actually got Silent Hill 2 was in the garbage, and the disc is in great condition like it wasn't there. So GameStop just threw out this game. So if you want some games, check out your local GameStop. You might find cool games. Sly series, pretty okay, but pretty fun. Tales of Legendia, I think that was the last Tales game I played. Tomb Raider, universally panned this game, but I want to kind of return to it, maybe in a Hangouts. I think that might be a really fun hangout, because that game was panned. Like, it was just abhorred at the time of launch in 03. Or 02. 02 or 03. But Tony Hawk series right here. The only collector's edition I own on PS2 is this. I don't think their collector's edition was a thing till the following gen. But this was the collector's edition. All that's different about it is it's in the sleeve. That's all. I don't think there's nothing else that was different about that. But they tried. Crap. And after playing, frick, my life. Why can't I get that in there? There we go. Okay. After playing Final Fantasy, I was like, man, what other JRPGs are there? And I went to Walmart, and I remember seeing this and reading, oh, it's a JRPG, and kind of looking into it. And this changed my life forever. Like, I really love the Xenosaga 1 and 2, and I got 3 recently when collecting. I have never played Xenosaga 3, so I am waiting and hoping, and I think it's going to happen, a Xenosaga like HD trilogy. And that will be day 1, and I will play through those again. I'll try to get through them. Hopefully they had freaking fast forwarding, because I can't take turn-based stuff anymore. These are my Xbox games right here. Not many. Like I said, I was more PS2, I was more GameCube, and I came in very late, because the hype at middle school was all about Halo, so I came in late to get the Halo games. That Halo 2 is a launch copy. And what do you see next to that? Ooh, that is a collector's edition of Halo 2 shrink wrapped. And one of my favorite things about this, the launch of Halo 2 was ungodly. It was just unbelievable. The wait for it and the hype was unbelievable. But what happened was, on launch of the Halo of the Halo 2, I don't know why I said it that way, went to Toys R Us where I pre-ordered it, and they said they sold my limited edition copy. So I got a regular, and my dad said, okay, go pick out a controller. So I got, and then we took it to the front, and he said, you're giving this, we're getting this for free. And we got a controller for free. They gave me a free controller, because my dad was like, why did you sell his copy? Like, he pre-ordered it. So years later, I got this, like a couple years later. Somebody from my dad's work's friend got games as like a promotional guy. He like worked in promotional stuff and would get games for free. And one of those games, like, I would get games for free back then. That's a whole other story. I think it would be interesting for like a podcast or something to talk about. But long story short, one of those games was this. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I never thought I was going to get this again, because it's sold out. But yeah, it is a shrink wrap copy of Halo 2. Limited editions, because I'd already played the regular, so I kept it shrink wrapped. My favorite thing on it is do not sell before 11/9/04, the launch date, because other games would just, like, sometimes the clerks would just get them in early. They get shipment early and they'd throw it on the shelf. Some of these older titles up here, like, who cares if somebody gets freaking Banjo-Tooie early? And this kind of was the start of, like, hey, there is a blackout date, like, do not go before that. Like, there is a launch date, do not break, what is it called? Like, don't break, Street date. Yeah, don't break the street date. So they had to put a warning on here, and I love that because that's the start of this. This is like game history of like, do not sell before this date. And people are getting in trouble and like fired from their jobs, you know. So I love that little feature of that. So definitely keeping that sealed. Why can I not freaking get stuff back in? Oh my gosh. Okay, it's back in. There's Ninja Gaiden, which I played recently. You can see a hangout of that. Fable, and then they came out with the Fable Lost Chapters, which seemed like a DLC. They added stuff to it. Almost like a complete edition before they could sell DLC. Like, here's the complete edition. And Shenmue 2. Gas Expensive 3, here's my DVD collection that I have. I got rid of and just took to half-price books and donated a lot of my DVDs, but I kept some of the ones I cared about. And one of the ones I definitely cared about was the movie I made, Gas Expensive 3. You can just Google that and Google Knobber Productions, Knobber, if you're interested in something like that. I made a movie. I made 2 videos, like silly videos called Gas Expensive 1 and 2. And then I got my friends to help me make this. This is one of the most proud things I've worked on. I had a friend help me with the box art right there. Which has a funny story behind it, but yeah, we actually made a legit DVD, and I had a viewing with all my friends that were in it. And people that weren't in it came and watched it. And one of my most proud kind of things I've worked on creatively. And these are all the Mega 64 DVDs that they put out. I have every single one, except I think a special edition for version 1 I didn't get, but everything else I have. This is a Fable. I think it came with that. Yeah, when you pre-order it came with this bonus DVD when you picked it up from GameStop. One of the first games I ever pre-ordered was Fable. Yeah, this came with the Angel of Darkness when you pre-ordered, so my dad pre-ordered that when we got that for PS2. This was second place is just some friend I knew that made a DVD for his collections of skits. Metal Gear Solid Saga Volume 2 came with the Metal Gear Solid 4 limited edition that I have. Xenosaga came, I think, when you pre-ordered Xenosaga 2. Yes, and that when you pre-order Xenosaga 2, and that has all of the movies, because Xenosaga 1 had so many cutscenes in it, they made a DVD of all those. A cleaner thing, and then 2 PC games. Doom, that my friend, shouts out Alex, got for me. The limited edition I have down there. And then Yooka-Laylee on the PC I got when I kickstarted it. And remember when I said back then I lied about the 2DS? Guess what? I did. I lied about having all the handhelds. I bought for one of the Black Fridays when I was into collecting. This went down to $90. This is how much money I guess I was making at that last job, or how different my lifestyle was then. I just bought this for $99 and never played it. I got it for collection purposes. So this is a unopened. I think I opened it. I opened it and checked it out, but it's never been played 2DS because I had already had the 3DS. I just thought it was just cool to have the box and all that stuff. So down here are my Blu-rays. My Blu-ray collection. There's Alien and stuff. There's Cowboy Bebop. The Evangelion movies are awesome. 3 is shrink wrapped because I have it digital, and that took freaking forever for the Blu-ray to come out too. Here in the US. There's a couple of those. More Mega 64. They've been putting out Blu-rays now. Where? Now I'm kind of confused where that Metal Gear Saga came from, because that came in the PS4 version of Metal Gear Solid 4. So I don't know where this Metal Gear Saga Volume 2 came from. I gotta look at this. Now I'm down a rabbit hole. I think it came with a DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah. Weird. That's really weird. Yeah, it came with a DVD and Blu-ray. That is weird. Weird. But yeah, there's some Blu-rays. And then down here, I like to keep some of the movie tickets for movies like Evangelion 3. I thought was I gotta keep that. getting to see that at like a specialty theater at a place in Columbus. It's near us, or it's a little drive, but Columbus, Ohio has some stuff. But yeah, cool little Planet of the Apes set, Star Wars set. These are like some of my TV sets, Twin Peaks, complete series. And then this was another thing that my friend got me when he went to Japan. It is for the Sega Saturn. They made an Evangelion game. He literally paid like $5 for that. When converted, I think it's $5. But yeah, a Japanese Sega Saturn. So I gotta get a Sega Saturn now. I don't know if it's region locked, and try to play that. I think that's kind of cool. I think that is kind of cool. And then right down here is my Game Boy collection, like loose Game Boy collection. But you saw a lot of that. There's like one or two I don't have up there. So that is this shelf. Right here I have kind of hung up. This is kind of for my old room. I'll probably take this down, but it was kind of special to me. It's from the channel when somebody from Kojima Productions reached out at our E3 2016 reaction video for Sony. They reached out and said, can we use your video, like your reactions, in our video? And that was the first reaction video I'd ever done. And to have Kojima Productions like reach out and say that was like unbelievable. So we're actually on, this is like from the Hideo tube. I just printed out this like picture, like this kind of thing on the YouTube. It's stupid. It probably is kind of stupid, but I was really just kind of flabbergasted. They asked to use that, and we got so many views on that. And that's, I mean, we continue to do them all, you know, year over year. And that's like our legit, you know, we were just, because I see some reactions, people just kind of overreact and stuff. I was just legitimately happy to see Kojima. I don't know. It's kind of corny. Maybe it's kind of corny. Sorry about that. But here is my iMac, the 27-inch, the one that came out last year. This is what I edit my videos on. This is what I use for work and stuff, is for my video edits and stuff. I love this thing. That's maxed out with all the goodies. Magic Mouse, only problem you might see on my Twitter, I might complain about sometimes. The freaking charging port is on the bottom. Cannot freaking defend Apple on that one. But yeah. Yeah, I accidentally turned on the thing and don't want you to see some stuff. We got the Philips Hue bulbs. I actually have, that's what these are up here. Boom, the Philips Hue bulbs. You can change them different color. Control them with your phone. Absolutely recommend these. These have been a lifesaver when you just forget to turn out the lights. You could just tell your phone to do it. So there's a little hub. You gotta have a hub hooked up. There's a router and all that stuff is hooked in there. 2 hard drives full of video projects and stuff. Blue Yeti, that's what I use for the streaming stuff. Toilet paper, you know, when you take a dump in this room, just in case. No, I'm just kidding. I use that below my nose when I need to. And fidget spinner, classic. You know, you got to have the fidget spinner. And one of the last things I'll show before we get to this closet area is the glass shelf that you saw before, but it's been renovated. Some stuff is brand new. These first 2 shelves are brand new. So up here I have Final Fantasy 7 Cloud. PlayArts Kai, he was not cheap. He was probably close to the $100 range, but well worth it. Has all the swords, looks tight. It's a newer figure I have is Twilight Princess Link. And Yuna is one of my first like figures I have of like collecting figures and action figures. My friend got me for my birthday back in 2004. And there's a little Heartless back there plushie that came with Kingdom Hearts 2.5, I think. The collector's edition, or 1.5, one of those stupid numbered ones. Doom collector's edition, my friend got me. Again, I'm glad I got all the collector's edition on shelves now. And I changed the shelf. The shelf used to be Nintendo kind of themed, I think, in the old shelf or whatever, or the old room. This now is all Zelda themed because I had enough Zelda stuff that it kind of warranted its own shelf. So there is the Breath of the Wild collector's edition that used to be on that long white thing in the old video. Moved it to here. Wind Waker, Majora's Mask, all these collector's editions, some amiibos, and some Figma's stuff right there. I have some videos for some of these I did. Some unboxing reviews, I guess. Yeah, figure reviews, but Pretty cool. There's a Majora's Mask on the Nintendo Club you could get. It is a puzzle. I'm going to put that together maybe someday and put it in a frame. The Evangelion shelf, for those that saw it last time, whatever, those are all the Evangelions thus far till this new freaking movie hits. But that is my Evangelion figure collection back there. All serviced to you by this light up here. Thanks, IKEA. This is an IKEA, what is it called? Gassed off or something? Blast off? Gassed? I think it's a gassed off shelf. If you want to just go to IKEA, you'll find it. Very popular shelf for people like geeks like me getting these figures. My Amiibo collection, I moved around, so these aren't these. As you saw, I had some up here of Zelda and some Amiibos from like the Smash Brothers series. My goal was to get all the Smash Brothers Amiibos, but some of them, you know, you gotta get that 8-bit Zelda, or not Zelda, 8-bit Link. Stuff like that is like, okay, now you're pushing it too far. Some of these Breath of the Wild ones were gifts, and I'll take gift Amiibos any day. Ocarina of Time one was like a gift and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, all those Amiibos and stuff. And then this is kind of the same as the last video. I kind of just have some Ratchet and Clank. I'll shed some light on this. Some Ratchet and Clank down here. Stuff. And Crash Bandicoot, some old Crash Bandicoot from back in the 90s. They break easily and are super glued. But yeah, I just kind of put some various, because I have all of the Ratchet and Clank set that they made. I was really into Ratchet and Clank when I got that. And in here is a couple things. I definitely need the light for this. Kind of have some clothes in there that's not gaming related. Don't mind it. Right here, if I can reach, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pull this. Hold on one second. Right here is, up there is a Donkey Kong thing. You saw it in the old video if you want to see it. I'm not gonna get it out, but it's a Donkey Kong Country little thing I got for the Best Buy E3 that Nintendo did. I got it for free. They just were giving stuff away at the end, and I picked that up. Some of these are boxes. I'm kind of a freaking weirdo when it comes to boxes, and I keep some of the boxes for stuff I care about. So there's the SNES Collection. There's some Steam Link boxes, Xbox. There's our thermostat that we have. I'm kind of OCD about that, having the boxes with stuff. There's a whole other video I can do in boxes elsewhere. There is my freaking charger came out of this. This has all of my controllers and like cords and stuff that I have for that, and they're just old, you know, connection, all that stuff. And there's the old just boxes for the PS4 Pro. My friend made that at my last job for me. It's an Earthworm gem. I just want to pull it out because I just want to show him respect. Just sprite art thing. Very freaking cool. I need to hook that up. I think I'm actually breaking this. Oh my gosh, I'm like tearing that thing apart. Oh my gosh. How about we respect it? We're going to put it down here. You got to show respect to that. I want to get that place back up. It was in my old office space. And that's the lost part of the lost collection. We're going through it right now, so I just placed it in here under Earthworm Gem. It seems like it's lost. And there's some various things I'm trying to sell under that. No worries. This has my Rock Band stuff in it, this big duffel bag. There is no body in it at this time, just Rock Band. Then in here is some various like Donkey Konga, the Donkey Konga drums are in these like totes down here. Not much to see. It's bag, just a book bag I carry stuff in, and then that just has extra boxes like carrying like Tupper, or I don't know what you would call them. These like tubs. There's like extra like tiny tubs in there for like my action figures. And action figure accessories are in there, but those are kind of boring to talk about. And that's it for that. I'll end on the consoles down here, and that will be it. I got the Retron 5 that plays all these old Game Boy games, NES, Sega Genesis, stuff like that. I have a electricity nightmare right here for the Retron because it has a weird, like, what you call it, like port, like outlet thing. My Xbox One controller that I use for PC games. And you can see back there, Super Nintendo for the SNES Mini. Great reproduction of those. I am just so happy with those. I think they did a great job. There's my Wii U. I was about to stream that the other day and realized I had to freaking hook up that cord, that gosh darn cord for that Wii U gamepad. So, got a cover on the gamepad. Keep dust out. But kind of a mess on some of the stuff. That Wii U, you had to freaking plug that in all the time, kind of, to run that. That thing died so quickly. There's my Xbox 360. And my 360 controller, and another freaking, they had a giant power brick, and I just chose to put it right there. My PS3 Slim model back here, and my PSVR, and that's like partially kind of connected to my PS4. You do have to take one cord out, I think, and hook up to that. Kind of a mess with the cords, but you get what you get. But I love this setup, and I'm really very, 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 very still happy about it, and still just I just keep looking back and saying, wow, I'm glad we're here. So, thanks for watching. That has been the Game Room Tour. Sorry it took freaking months to get to. I'm just happy I'm finally able to get it out and get it filmed. I found a spare second to do it. So, right back here is, this kind of probably looks familiar. This is where we filmed the podcast at. And now I'm looking at my hair. Gotta mess with my hair. As you can see, this wall behind me is kind of bare, and over there is very bare. So probably getting that shelf for those Metal Gear figures, but I kind of also like to film like videos maybe in front of a blank wall. We'll see what I'm going to do over there, but back here is definitely going to be some posters. I'm going to make this wall stand out. So you'll probably just see that on a podcast. Won't need to do a new update. So I think the game room's kind of done as far as that. Just posters and stuff need to go up on the wall. So very happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if this is long, but I wanted to do a thorough kind of... I've never showed some of this stuff before, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I always like to watch people's like collections and stuff and see how they got stuff set up. So hopefully this inspires you to do something for yourself. Maybe when you move out or in the room that you're in now, go nuts and take some ideas from this. I took ideas from other people, their game room. So I think this is just my dream setup. I just really love this. It's not super huge, but I'm really happy with it. And I do have ideals even for like a future house. If I get like a basement or something like that, I have some ideals for that. But right now I'm just really content and really happy. So hope you guys enjoyed. Oh frick, I accidentally pressed something. Oh my gosh, what I hit. Okay, I think we're good. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check out DweeBros on Twitter if you want to get updates when I'm streaming, live streaming, when videos go up, all that good stuff. Definitely recommend checking that out if you enjoy the videos. And if you do and you're subscribed to the channel, thank you. Thank you for watching. And let me know what you think was cool. What do you think I can improve on? Be nice. Be nice or think twice. That's my new saying. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.